We one thing we do on this show a lot is we rank unnecessary social structures. Mm-hmm. The one that I want to return to the table is the friendship hierarchy. So in episode 158 of our old podcast, Insane Ramblings, here's the phases that we established.
Yeah.
Courtship, then the honeymoon
Hard
period.
to call them these to their face.
Yeah. You don't want to...
like, nice to meet you. Twice in a week, I see we're having a friendship courtship. It's not going to go to the honeymoon phase if you do that.
It will not. Then we went to the friend zone. Then we went to closer than friends, which is in brackets when you tell someone you need to fart.
Really?
I mean, hey, because
I just farted, but I feel like if I fart, I need to own it.
Well, that means we're at least at stage 4.
I don't think it does necessarily. See, can we put a side, like I want to put an asterisk where we add this. So yeah, if you tell someone you need to fart, I wouldn't tell you that, I don't think.
I feel like this is saying you're comfortable enough to tell someone that you farted.
No, because I feel like, well, you've already heard it. I've got to own up to it. There's no fennel here to blame it on.
You could leave the room and fart.
Oh no, that slipped out.
If you're on
I don't usually fart on purpose in front of people.
If you're on a first date, right?
Yeah.
And you feel one coming.
I don't usually feel them coming. They're a surprise. This is another discussion we had. We're so far away from the initial discussion, but it doesn't matter. I was talking to some of my friends in Tasmania. Do your farts slip out or do you have to push them? And apparently this is not the same for everybody. Mine just slip out.
I wouldn't say I have to push them.
There were people saying like, yeah, I push them out. I was like, mine just come out.
I feel like there's no like 100% rule, but I would say in most scenarios I could like feel it coming. Like there's like a warning, you know.
Sometimes I would say 70%. The majority, but not a huge majority for me. Some of them just disappear.
But 70%, just say you're on a first date and you feel it coming like you would most of the time.
I think I would hope that it disappears because sometimes I can kind of just will it away. Not now, fart.
Really?
You do
I mean, I feel like that's exceedingly rare. And
I can often do like not now fart.
Well,
I just felt like farting then and I was like, not now. I've already farted once on air. Thank you.
I feel like I've...
Well, I was blown away by the people who say I need to push my farts out. Like they wait politely and then I open the gate.
I mean, but you know what they're talking about. Like you've experienced that.
I know how to push them out, I guess, but I don't have to. And I usually don't. They're usually going to go of their own accord.
But it sounds like you're in company in which you don't care enough to leave the room or like if...
That wasn't a fart. That was my stomach.
I didn't hear anything anyway. But just, okay, you're with a guy. You've met him like...
Ooh, I feel like farting now. Let me wish it away. Not now, fart. Not now. And it kind of disappears for a bit.
It defeats the purpose if you have to verbalise not now, fart.
Oh, I need to work. Yeah. Maybe I can move away from verbal cues.
Yeah, people might be onto you if that's what you're doing.
I'll be like, no, not now, Bart. I was making a Simpsons reference.
And I'm like, I'm a big Simpsons fan. Can you repeat the quote? You're like, no, you missed it.
Exactly.
It was timely, and the reference has now passed.
It's not funny if I have to repeat it.
Or are you just quoting one time when Bart had to fart and then you can quickly push one out and then they're like, oh, that was a great episode.
Does Bart fart?
I don't remember a Bart fart, but it's got it. They've done 27 seasons or whatever. Surely Bart's farted.
12-year-old boy that says eat my shorts. He's got to be farting occasionally.
And his name rhymes with fart. So, I mean, it practically writes itself. Yeah. Practically writes itself.
Yeah, I got a joke before they made a fart.
Yeah, exactly. No, we're up to stage 4, closer than friends. I'm guessing it's like I wrote down when you tell someone you need to fart, but I feel like when you're comfortable in farting in front of someone is...
I think I've ever said, I need to fart.
I know, that's why it comes off a bit unusual. So, I mean, I didn't listen...
I need to fart.
I didn't listen back to the episode to clarify.
Because of me, like, I'm either going to or I'm not. It's not like I need to.
You don't feel the need to announce it over like a PA system of sorts?
Oh, no. if I would probably say in that situation, I'm going to fart.
Why would you say anything? You announce it afterwards.
Really?
Well, because
No, I tell them, like, so I do say I'm going to fart, but I need to fart is slightly semantically different. And that's really like tickling my funny bone.
why would you say I'm going to fart?
So they can
though?
get away if they need to.
Why don't you get away? Because you
Because they're
obviously.
close enough that I'm not moving.
Oh, you feel like any sudden movement is going to release the fart.
No, I just mean like, if it bothers you, I'm going to fart. I mean, even if it does not bother you, I'm going to fart. But previously I cared about your comfort enough, I would remove myself. And I guess now it's up to you.
But it's possible they won't even notice.
But I don't want
it
to
could-
surprise them.
But maybe you're saying it's better to announce it just in case they.
No, I feel like, in case they notice.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm just like, just so you know, there's going to be a fart. Like, it's polite. If you don't want to be around a fart, go for a walk for 5 minutes.
I know, but you could get away with it.
It's not about getting away with it. It's like, I don't want to unknowingly, like, I don't want to subject my friends unknowingly to farts.
But I would prefer that.
Like,
I would prefer.
to not know.
Yeah.
But you would be unknowingly subjected to a fart then.
But what can I do about it?
Leave.
But you can leave is my point. Like if you're so concerned with other people's,
I'm not. I'm just saying, there's
being
going to be a fart.
and I'm not
You
going to do
can-
anything about it. But if you choose to,
Exactly. There's going to be a fart. So just however you feel you need to deal with that, that's okay.
yeah,
There's going to be one.
I would prefer to not know rather than have to make a decision about like, well, now do I leave the room or not? Because if it doesn't smell and if there's no sound, then it's like it didn't happen.
Okay.
And then you can apologize if it did.
I don't want to apologize for farting on my friends when they could have avoided. Like, you might even feel it or something. Like, there's just so
That
many
no one
ways.
has ever felt a fart.
That's not true.
There's like a gust of wind
That's
and
not true. You've never felt your partner's fart.
their ass would have to be like right on me.
Yeah.
Well, then I would turn like the other direction or something. Like that's easily solved.
It's too late. You felt it.
I don't know how late you are getting these warnings. I feel like I've got at least a couple of
No.
seconds to shift my body.
That's if I gave a warning.
Yeah.
If I don't give a warning, you've just been farted on. That's what I'm saying. You're saying don't give a warning. But I'm like, imagine if I don't and then you feel it. That's the worst situation.
Well-
Feeling a fart, I think, despite the fact that smell is the most unpleasant, I'm not going to deny that.
Yeah.
Feeling it is the most scarring.
I think
Feeling a fart is so unpleasant.
I feel like most people could get away with a fart and the other person not knowing a good amount of the time.
I make my boyfriend fart out the window in lockdown.
Why?
His farts were so toxic.
But that's like a specifically if you've got that affliction, then sure, make it known. But I
Like,
would
are
say
you rotting from the inside? One time he was in the bathroom area and
Yeah.
I was in the shower and he farted just in the bathroom bit and like it's like
it seeped into the shower.
yeah.
I mean, that sounds particularly bad, but I feel like that's not what we're talking about.
Okay. Well,
Like, I'm talking about a normal fart where, like, I would say 50% of the time, no one's the wiser.
okay. Well, I'm just telling you, I need to fart.
All right, well, that's step 4. I don't know how this show became Fart Cast, like,
Yeah.
almost 2 episodes in a row. Number 5 was Me Casa, Su Casa.
Midnight Crisis.